Only 5 races remain in both the BodyArmor LYTE Series East and West, and tonight they converge for the third time this season, as it's the third of 4 events in the BodyArmor LYTE Showdown. We got ourselves an overall championship to decide at Gateway at the beginning of September. We also have a championship to decide in both the East Series and the West Series in 5 races apiece for both. And this is race number 11 for both of these guys, and it's going to be a wild race here at the Iowa Speedway. 50 laps of action here tonight on this Thursday night, the last night of July. And we're excited to see how this one goes down for the Newton 200 here from the Iowa Speedway, race number 3 in the BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. We're here for the 11th race of the season in both the BodyArmor LYTE Series East and West, and this is a very fast-paced racetrack, much different than a lot of the other races we have seen this season for these drivers. The last race in the East Series was on a quarter-mile racetrack in northern Vermont. This is a much faster racetrack, even though Thunder Road's a very quick racetrack. This is a much faster racetrack than that one. And of course, we got 32 drivers in the field for this race. The Wawa Cup Series is going to be here tomorrow night for 42 laps, 42 drivers, and 88 laps. This is a 50-lap race, and Andrew, you're going to be in tomorrow night's race in the Wawa Cup Series. So what do you expect to see here tonight with these 32 drivers in the LYTE Series?
Well, Iowa's a pretty unique track in its own right. It's like a, oh boy, how could I describe it? It's like a miniature Fontana, maybe, with the fact that the front stretch is just a long D-shaped dogleg, pretty much, and then a long sweeping corners that trying to get the belts. So I think we could see a lot of opportunities for passing. This race could even get a little bit crazy, just with the different lines that these guys might be trying to take. Just hoping it doesn't get too crazy either tonight or in the cup race. Or if it does, hopefully it doesn't affect me. But, you know, this is going to be fun. Iowa tends to create for a lot of interesting and fun moments. So I think that we may see some of that with these guys as well.
And we'll have to see how wild and crazy it does get here tonight, and we'll see if that ends up being a correlation to tomorrow night's race in the Wawa Cup Series, the halfway point in the chase tomorrow night. But we come into this race halfway in the Showdown. And, of course, we got an overarching championship for these guys. And we'll show you guys those points first. Campbell Marsh is the points leader in the Showdown after the first 2 races. Those were Circuit of the Americas back in February, and then Memphis Motorsports Park in May. So it's been a couple of months since we have had a Showdown race for these guys. Roughly every 2 months we've got one of these things. And Campbell Marsh has 6 points on Ryan Durrani and Ryosi Fujimoto. Durrani starts top 10 for this race. Neither Campbell Marsh or Ryosi Fujimoto start top 10 here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see if Durrani ends up pulling away after this one. Christian Vargas, though, is up there. He starts in the 4th position. He's done very well in these Showdown races. He's 8 points behind. And then the last Showdown winner, Rashi Mahendra, 10 points behind in the Showdown. But main focus is kind of on these East and West Series points, and it's very tight in the East Series. Of course, Alex NR2003 got the last win a couple weeks ago at Thunder Road in the East Series. He's got only 4 points on Aaron Abel. The very interesting thing about this race is that Aaron Abel starts much further ahead than Alex NR2003. Alex NR2003 all the way back 23rd starting position here tonight. Going to be interesting to see if he can work his way through the field in this one. Ryosi Fujimoto falling back a little bit, 15 points behind. Campbell Marsh, 26 points behind. The championship in the East Series realistically is between Alex NR2003 and Aaron Abel at this point. And then over in the West Series, it's basically Ryan Durrani. He's got 16 points on Nicholas Cameron. It's been a while since the West Series has run. It was actually Pikes Peak over a month ago. And this is the last race for the West Series until we get to the next Showdown race at Gateway. So West Series is going to take a little bit of time off. But then they got Colorado, Meridian, and the finale at Phoenix going on throughout the fall. So they're going to have their own races coming up here shortly. Ryan Durani's got 16 points ahead of Nicholas Cameron, who won the last race, by the way. Nicholas Cameron at Pikes Peak. This is a similar racetrack to Pikes Peak in a way. Maybe not all the way. I think Pikes Peak's got a little bit of a slower speed in the corners than this track does, but regardless of the fact, Nicholas Cameron might be strong here today. We'll see where he ends up falling in line. Skep Silver and Johnson Jameson both 17 points behind. Owen Miles 18 points behind. The battle for second's very close, but Durrani has pulled away with this thing. He's got 3 wins on the season. He may get win number 4 here tonight in the BodyArmor Showdown. We got Marcus Glitch starting on the pole in the number 10 machine alongside Henry Brown, and Skep Silver there in the 3rd position. It's been over a month for the West Series, and they came out strong here tonight at Iowa, getting the first 3 starting positions. The highest East Series driver, Christian Vargas in the 37. You got Chris Reynolds in the 04 to the inside of Jared Martin. Baby Ruiz in the 70 to the inside of Owen Miles, and there's Ryan Durrani in the number 54 alongside the 8 machine of Corey Case. Aaron Abel starts 11th alongside Zayden Davidson. And a little bit further back in the field there, you're going to see the driver, the number 40, Alexander Rowe, who won the last race in the East Series all the way back in 23rd. Nicholas Cameron in the 42 starts all the way in the back of the field. Runner-up right now on the points in the West Series, so we'll see what he can do after he got the win in the last West Series race. It's only 50 laps, a bit on the longer side for these drivers in the LYTE Series, considering how long this racetrack is. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. 32 of these drivers around the 7/8 of a mile speedway in Newton, Iowa. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from the Iowa Speedway. And Andrew, I've got to ask you, as I always do with the co-commentators, who do you think is going to get the race victory here tonight in this Newton 200 at Iowa?
I do tend to favor anyone who's starting on the inside lane. I feel like Iowa's going to be very similar for that. So, you know what, I think we're going to go with number 11 there. I like that starting position. Has been showing good speed, at least in the races that I've been able to catch and even commentate with you a good few times in the West Series. And I'm liking what that Sport Clips machine might be able to do here tonight.
And Skep Silver trying to have some bit of a chance to get to Ryan Durrani in the West Series Championship, trying to get that Cup Series reserve. That's the big thing, is both the East and West champions will get a Cup Series reserve, not the Showdown, but only East and West. And going to be limited spots for that going into next season. And those guys are going to be going for it hard in these last 5 races. Here we go. We're green flag racing at the Iowa Speedway in the Newton 200. And it will be Marcus Glitch leading lap number 1 in the number 10 for Leonard Kochmar's team there in the West Series. Under Armour Kochmar Racing there. Haven't really seen them run too well in a lot of these West Series races. As a matter of fact, I think they're last in the owner's points in the West Series coming into this race here tonight. But they're up front right now in the number 10 machine. Skep Silver, Chris Reynolds, and here comes Ryan Durrani already up to the 4th position in the number 54. But here comes Aaron Abel. And in terms of the East Series, Abel right now second in line of the East Series drivers. Got Chris Reynolds making a move there on Skep Silver there for second.
We're there for second place, all 3 wide for the tail in the top 10. I think it's all Caleb Rose.
Oh, and caution.
And that looks like
and Zayden Davidson around in the 51.
Guess they didn't sort it out.
Looks like Rashi Mahendra might have gotten caught up in that one as well. It's a shame for them. They got the win at Memphis, and more contact as Kyler Sustry getting spun by Campbell Marsh in the back of the field. Keegan Thompson has some damage as well. And this occurred down the backstretch here at the Iowa Speedway, and that's lots of times that's the trouble spot here around the 7/8 of a mile speedway. Tough break for those guys in the back of the field, but I don't think anyone's out of the race from that. But Zayden Davidson going to be at the back of the field after that one.
Yeah, I saw them really dicing up there. I was calling it out with Caleb Rose back there, but who knows what may have been going on even further back. And yeah, 3 wide. Any track really doesn't work, and I think here is no exception to that. I feel like they may have gotten a little bit bold on the early going there.
Well, an early caution here in the Newton 200. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring it out here from the Iowa Speedway. Well, you're going to see right here nearly 4 wide. Probably 4 wide off the exit of the corner here, turn number 2. Jared Martin going a little wide in the 98. Zayden Davidson right to the inside of him. And Martin's going to tap that outside wall, come back down. Davidson's got nowhere to go, and then Andrew Williams. Actually, Williams doesn't even get any contact from this. It's just Davidson and Mahendra. Tough break for Mahendra. Won the last Showdown race at Memphis. They're not going to enjoy that, though. We still got a long ways left to go on this race, and we'll see if any of these guys can rebound. Zayden Davidson hard on the inside wall there in the 51, but was rear end damage. Everyone's still going to be in this race after this incident. And then further up, because they were still tangled up from all this, Kyler Sustry in the 72 is already kind of at the back of the field right here. That's unhealthy. You got Keegan Thompson and J.R. Ribbleton getting into each other. That sent Campbell Marsh around, and Kyler Sustry had nowhere to go from that. Tough break for the Triad Racing 72. Hey, we're going to see Triad Racing in the Cup Series next year. Excited for that. Travis Crampton bringing his team. Love that red line oil scheme that we get in the Truck Series and in this series. Becoming one of the iconic schemes on the channel. Tough break for Sustry though in the 72. Two-time winner in the West Series this season. Probably not gonna get it tonight. After that one.
Yep, it's just how bunched up they are here through 1 and 2, and Martin going up into the wall, and in the words of Alex, that's unhealthy. And tough break there for Mahendra. Lucky break, though, for Nicholas Cameron, who was right with that, but managed to get away with it unscathed. And then, yeah, that is just that's a weird one there with 25 and the 6. Actually, it looks like the 6 almost turned the 25. So, yeah, that's just the nature of Iowa and how wadded up they can get. But it is a short track, too. Don't know if that damage might affect them and their speed. Only time will tell.
We'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out. Marcus Glitch has led every lap so far, only 2 of them under green. We'll see what he does on the restart here in the Newton 200 at the Iowa Speedway. We are back here at the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. Of course, leading up to tomorrow's Iowa Corn 350 in the Wall Cup Series. Race 27 of the season. Yeah, race 27 of the season already. My goodness. Tomorrow's August 1st, so to those of you who are still in school, I'm sorry. I haven't been in school in 4 years, so, that doesn't really mean much anymore. Marcus Glitch is your race leader here as we come to the restart from the Iowa Speedway with Chris Reynolds in second, Skip Silver, Aaron Abel, and BB Ruiz rounding out the top 5. Ryan Durrani is 6th, Josh Marzak, Trey Wright, Christian Vargas, and Caleb Rose. These showdown races really bring out so many different drivers. Alex Rowe has moved up 9 positions, though. Since the start of this race, he is up to 14th. I'd watch out for him as this race goes along as well. I'd love to see a Durrani versus Rowe battle here tonight. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Everybody still on the lead lap with Zayden Davidson at the back of the field. And a great restart for Marcus Glitch, but an even better restart for Chris Reynolds. Looking to the inside for the race lead here on lap number 7.
Woods are sliding up the track. Oh, Skip Silver doesn't make it 3 wide there. Whoa, 10 way up into the wall. And from the pole, going to fall back to at least 4th, if not 5th, 6th. Thank goodness, he stayed glued to that wall even through the dog leg. And well, that's not good there, but battle is still on for the lead here as Silver's looking for it on Reynolds.
And how about Aaron Abel as well? What an opportunity for Aaron Abel here tonight to take the points lead in the East Series away from Alexander Rowe, try to steal that East Series championship away. We saw Alexander Rowe win at Thunder Road, quarter-mile racetrack, by 3.5 seconds the other night. And Aaron Abel was second in that race, but right now he's going for the race lead, and already our 4th different leader here at Iowa. 9 laps into this race. Now you got BB Ruiz moving his way up, and here comes Ryan Durrani, 3-time winner in the West Series this season. He's on the inside lane. How about Josh Marzak? He was the winner of one of the opening races of the season here in the East Series. I think did he win the first race or did he win the second race? You called one of those East Series races with us back in January, so you do have a list somewhere. But Caleb Rose is going to go to the inside of him, 3 wide. And now you got BB Ruiz looking to make a move on Aaron Abel for the top position. And now BB Ruiz has a nose to the inside. And are we going to get 5 different leaders in 11 laps? Is this a preview of what we're going to see tomorrow night?
And if so, goodness, qualifying is not going to matter all that much. But yeah, how about that for BB Ruiz? I did find the driver this, by the way. So we're all good there. Caleb Rose moving up through the field here. Oh goodness, Durrani, don't hit the wall. Oh man, turn 4 is like Slide City if you're not careful.
Of course, Durrani, one of our best drivers here in the series, getting up in there. How about Trey Wright and Josh Marzak moving themselves up into the top 6? Owen Miles here to the inside of Skep Silver. Skep Silver was the race leader not too long ago, and Alex in a row, 3 wide on the outside lane, with Aaron Abel second in the East, and that's not going to help Alex in a row at all. That was a hard hit to the outside wall for the 40 machine. And he's going to gain some significant damage from that one, and they really have to be careful here. They're going to be 4 wide off the corner if they're not careful. There's Reynolds and Marcus Glitch, who have fallen way back. You do not want to get stuck in the outside lane here at Iowa, because stuff like this can happen. You got Anthony Hernandez pushing up on Marcus Glitch and Chris Reynolds, and Reynolds going to hit the outside wall, and somehow, some way, they keep it together for now. Durrani continues to fall back in the 54. And it's a 2-car breakaway between BB Ruiz in the 70 and Aaron Abel in 97. Caleb Rose, highest of the West Series drivers at the moment, running there in 3rd. But he's going to hit the wall. And here comes Josh Marzak and Trey Wright. And they're splitting 3 wide.
Oh boy. Sorry for all the noises that I'm making, but it's kind of hard not to do. And when you're seeing all this, oh boy, I'm getting nervous. It's just going to take one more of these wall smacks and someone who on the inside lane who's not ready for it, and next thing you know, you're going to have someone going around as Trey almost getting into the wall. But goodness, and hey, but the gentleman that we got to meet, which is cool, but yeah, he's trying to keep it out of the wall along with everybody else, but it looks like that's easier said than done, especially if you're in a 3-wide situation, which is very easy to end up in at this track.
Anthony Hernandez moving his way up into the top 10, and his teammate currently leading the field, BB Ruiz there. So just outside the top 10 for Anthony Hernandez at the moment. Joshua Neely had a great run going for him at Thunder Road. Ended up blowing an engine in that race and failed to finish in that one, trying to rebound from that. Alex in a row trying to rebound from scraping the wall earlier. We know that he's got the speed, he's got the capability of getting up there, but right now he's mired midway through in traffic. And then Ryan Durrani in the 54 also slipping back. Durrani's got to be careful as, again, we're almost going 4 wide off the exit at turn number 2. Surprised with how many times they have slid up the track like that we've only had 1 caution so far here tonight. Hopefully that remains to be the case. But it's calmed down up front a little bit. BB Ruiz holding on, but Aaron Abel, Alexander Rose, arch rival in the E-Series. Right behind him, looking to take that E-Series points lead. Of course, that's a 3-point difference if Abel can get around the 70 machine and win this race. Of course, both of these drivers in the E-Series. Here we go for the race lead once again. And Aaron Abel looking to the inside of the 70 machine here, and we're lap number 20 at the Iowa Speedway.
Big here for Aaron Abel. Able to get clear, I believe, should, and will do so. So that is not what Alexander Rowe needs. But Aaron Abel in prime position as it stands. These two well over a second, almost 2, ahead of the rest of the field. And I'm sure that they are aware of everything that's going down behind them and are like, all right, yeah, let's just run this thing out. We're quite happy with where we're at, although Caleb Rose also starting to break away in the 3rd position. So I wonder if he might be able to close in on these two.
We'll have to see if he's going to have any momentum and be able to close in. I'm sure he'd love a restart, but he could possibly make up the ground. We'll have to see. He made up a little bit of ground right there. No one made up the ground on the Dobik Shred in Indianapolis, though, on Saturday. So, we'll just have to see if that ends up being the case. I think the delta between all these cars and drivers is a lot smaller in the LYTE Series than it is in the Wawa Cup Series. So, that's why we saw the crazy racing that we did early on. I don't think it's going to quite be like that early on tomorrow night in the Wawa Cup Series, though. I think we're still going to have a wild race. Reggie Fogelman inside the top 10. He's put on a couple of solid runs so far here in the E-Series as of late. Keegan Thompson inside the top 10 overall. Of course, top 10 from each series gets points for their respective series, and everyone gets points for the Showdown. But these drivers trying to close in on their respective points leaders in their respective series. And Ryan Durrani, oh my goodness, a lot of damage on the 54 machine. These guys have really accumulated significant damage. Both row and Durrani, both of our points leaders, are just inside the top 20 right now, and they have put a lot of damage onto their race cars at this point in the run. So they've got to be careful as this race goes along. Skep Silver trying to close in on the championship, but he also has had a difficult night. As a matter of fact, he's actually behind all these guys, continuing to slip back in that 11 machine. He was the race leader at one point in this race, and now he's almost at the back of the field. Nicholas Cameron has not gained any positions either. And you got the points up there for the West Series. I forgot who else is around. Durrani trying to close in, but there's bound to be some movement in the West Series points once we're all said and done with this race here tonight. So that means that Durrani's chances of winning the championship are going to go down just a little bit after this one. As BB Ruiz, you saw in the corner of your screen, got around Aaron Abel right there, back again for the race lead.
There for 70 as 24 has closed in quite a bit. To answer your question there, if Nicholas Cameron, Skip Silver, or even Johnson Jameson can have good enough runs here in relation to the 54 for the West Series, goodness, I think Durrani just got into the wall again. But as long as any of them can finish far enough ahead of that 54, they may have a chance, given how many races are left. But it looks like right now a lot of those guys kind of finding themselves also midfield and not quite in the position that they would need in order to fully take advantage. So Caleb Rose maybe, but he's 6th in points, 24 back. So
yeah, well, he
might be too little there.
He could gain 12 of those here. The way this is going, Durrani may not even get any points for the West Series. Not sure how many are in between. Jameson is ahead. The other two, Cameron and Skep Silver, are a little ways behind in that regard. We know that Aaron Abel is going to take the points lead the way they run in the East Series because Alexander Rowe continues to fall. He's in the last position right now. That is unbelievable after what we saw at Thunder Road 10 days ago. He is the worst driver in the field right now here at the Iowa Speedway. You can see the damage on that 40 machine is massively significant. He's been overshooting that corner. He's been over-aggressive here, and that has been a big factor. There's something about this racetrack. It is a racetrack where these drivers really go after it, and sometimes they go after it a bit too much, and that is the result of it right there. How about Trey Wright to the inside of Owen Miles? Couple of West Series drivers right here. They're going after it there. And Trey Wright trying to get to the inside of Owen Miles for that position. Unable to get so right now. Anthony Hernandez, a great run for Jacob Sport here. Haley Anderson Jr.'s team has had an excellent run as Chris Reynolds is done for the night. Engine damage on the 04. That is a shame. He was at one point the race leader. Not anymore.
I wonder if maybe smacking the wall is doing something to some of these machines. I guess you could say these guys are looking at getting the Iowa stripe. Darlington stripe? What's that? We got the Iowa stripe that I think a lot of these guys are going to end up with, and possibly a lot of guys in the Cup race. Again, just hoping I'm not one of them as here we go for the race lead. This will be big for the West Series points.
And Caleb Rose trying to pull one off. First, he's losing Appalachian Motorsports next year because he's running the Wawa National Series for us, so he doesn't get much of an opportunity to run now, and he's going to try to get this race victory, get his first LYTE Series win, and overshoot it though, and BB Ruiz going to close right back in. We got ourselves a great battle for the race lead here. 34 laps into this Newton 200 at Iowa Speedway. 16 laps to go at the fastest short track on the planet, as they call it. And I think that's what it says on the backstretch. Yep, that is exactly what it says on the backstretch. Once again, thanks to Airgel for making these cool graphics on these tracks. He's very good with doing that, and we greatly appreciate all of his work for it. Aaron Abel still not out of this one yet either. Still within a second of our race leader. He closed in quite a bit right there, and if these guys go side by side again for the race lead, that 97 might have a shot at this race victory. What a great race we have had here tonight at the Iowa Speedway.
One fully count out the 15 or the 73. Yep, a little 73 looks like he's going to try to make that move there for the 4th position. So a good run there for Hernandez. And 19 still waiting in the wings there. 70 taking a peek, but not quite. As there should get clear once again. Yep, that's a good place to make the move there going into turn number 1. without putting the guy in the wall. Turn 4, not so much. The guy on the outside is going to end up in that gray, and once you end up in that gray, it is you're going to be tasting some safer barrier.
You know, the fun fact about this racetrack, it's all safer barrier. It was built with safer barrier. The newer racetracks built, and there's no true wall on the outside. It's just all safer barriers. So, kind of a neat thing about this racetrack. And we got Trey right now to the inside of Owen Miles. That is for the 5th position. Anthony Hernandez up to 4th. A great run for Jacob Ford. They might not get the win, but they might have a double top 5 in a showdown race. And they are 2 of the 3 top drivers in the East Series. Trey Wright looking to take 2nd for the West Series. That'd be 9 points for the West Series, and then Owen Miles in the 8-point position for that series. Both the Hairgel cars, Christian Vargas, Reggie Fogelman, inside the top 10 overall. They have not had good seasons over there, but they're having a great night. Keegan Thompson, Josh Marzak is the last driver in the top 10. And Ryan Durrani still got a lot of stuff going on back there still. Durrani back in the 20th position. And we'll have to see if he gets anything as Owen Miles continues to slip back in the 15 machine. And Caleb Rose has 10 laps to go to hold on to this race lead. It is not over yet for this 24. BK Industries Blaine Keys team versus Blaine Keys, a 31-time winner on the channel. He's right now tied with Sam Medeo and Fitzwater. They're all tied for the all-time wins list at the moment. We'll see if Blaine Keys has a shot. I think Blaine's got a good shot at winning tomorrow, actually, if he has a good run or had a good run in qualifying. We've yet to record that, but we've seen that earlier tonight. And Bibi Ruiz trying to get his first win in quite some time on the channel. Well, he has won this year in the IndyCar Series, so I take that back, but he's had a great run in the Sprint Series. So has Aaron Abel. Sprint Series has been Aaron Abel, Bibi Ruiz, and Alexander Rowe. Not sure how last night's race went in the Sprint Series, but I'm sure it is going to be a very interesting fight to the championship over there between those 3 drivers. And it's going to be an interesting fight to the finish here in this Newton 200, because Caleb Rose still hasn't clinched his and Bibi Ruiz really sent it in. Going to lose a little bit of time right there. Tires are starting to go out here at Iowa. Anthony Hernandez, by the way, starting to close in on Aaron Abel. That's for 3rd. We'll see if he has enough speed to get up front, but time is running out here in this Newton 200.
Yeah, this 24, just watching him through the corners, he's looking way more smooth in comparison to the 70, who seems to be sending it just way harder, and in turn is either just maintaining the gap or even losing time. And yeah, just a little bit higher there. So yeah, I think the 70 driving a little more desperately, whereas that 24 is a little more hooked up. That is big advantage to Caleb Rose with 5 laps to go. He's just got to maintain this clean drive that he's got going on, and he should have this one in the bag if if he can do that. This is Iowa. It's a little easier said than done.
We'll have to see. So now 4 laps to go for Caleb Rose here in the Newton 200 at Iowa Speedway, and he has not won this race yet. A little wide again, and Bibi Ruiz trying to close back in on that inside. Meanwhile, Anthony Hernandez has closed right in to Aaron Abel for the 3rd position. He might take that last podium spot. There's another point there, and that's going to be crucial in the East Series because Aaron Abel was 4 points behind Alex in a row. Every point's going to matter in that regard. Reggie Fogelman has gotten around Owen Miles. Owen Miles continuing to slip back. Vargas looking to the inside of Fogelman right there. Keegan Thompson in the middle of this battle as well. Josh Marzak holding on to a top 10 at the moment. Kyler Craven on the outside looking in. And now 2 laps to go here at the Iowa Speedway for Caleb Rose and Blaine Keys. Here in the LYTE Showdown, it was the other BK Industries car, Nicholas Cameron, getting the win at Pikes Peak. And Blaine Keys looking to go back-to-back in the West Series. Here with Caleb Rose looking to take the white flag in the Newton 200 at the Iowa Speedway.
Comfortable lead over half a second, and stay at about half a second. Just keep it clean for this lap as they continue to go at it, pretty much 6th on back, but that ain't going to matter for this 24.
He's the right-hand man on the channel. And he's going to get another driver win. They are few and far between, but he's going to savor this one. Caleb Rose wins the Newton 200 here at the Iowa Speedway in the BodyArmor LYTE Showdown.
You'll love to see it. Caleb is an awesome guy. Oh, that's cool to see. I will admit, I was kind of rooting for him there.
I kind of have to put some bit of bias aside, but I mean, you know I'm happy for him too. You know I am. We all love Caleb. What a win for Caleb Rose, and he drove through the field to get that one as well. BB Ruiz has a lot to be proud of, though. Highest in the E-Series, going to be 10 points towards the championship over there for him. He was 11th in the standings. That's going to be a good points haul for those guys. Aaron Abel, going to be your new points leader in the E-Series after Alex in a row. Yeah, this didn't quite have it. Don't know what was up with those guys here tonight. But Caleb Rose knew what was up, and he's going to be your race winner here in this Newton 200 at the Iowa Speedway. A fun race here. That had a lot of passing early on, and we can only hope for half of his competitive race tomorrow night in the Wall Cup Series. Maybe you'll be in the mix, maybe not. We'll see. It's going to be a wild Cup Series race if that's what we get tomorrow night. Tough break for Chris Reynolds, who had the engine go bad. No caution ended up coming out for it. Tough break for Rashi Mahendra, who won the last Showdown race at Memphis, all the way in the back of the field. A lot of guys overshot the corner, got damaged, like Alexander Campbell Marsh. Strong drivers. Durrani as well. He rebounded a little bit. I think he'll get a couple of points in the West Series. We'll tally it up here in just a moment. But, well, thoughts on this one, Andrew? And if this is what we're going to see tomorrow night, buckle up. It's going to be wild in the Wall Cup Series.
Oh, you ain't kidding. And you said 88 laps is what we got. Oh, boy. Yeah, that. I feel like, obviously, you and I, we don't know what the qualifying result is yet. But whatever it is, it almost seems like it's going to be irrelevant based on how much switching of positions that we saw in this race, with guys ending up in the wall and then the handling on their cars going away. Caleb Rose clearly had the long run car. Aaron Abel had a great car, but slipped back just a bit in that fight for the win. So, yeah, I think that it's going to be very competitive. Again, I just got to hope that the 86 ends up on the right end of all that. But, hey, we'll just wait and see how that plays out. If it plays on anything like tonight, yeah, very chaotic and very all over the place. But a lot of fun, though. And, yeah, as you said, it's hard to not be a little bit biased towards Caleb just because, yeah, with what he does for the channel, awesome dude. Even helps me out on the online commentary side now.
He's everywhere. He's running NRLOA IROC. I mean, he's doing everything. We love Caleb, and he earned that one. No doubt about it. Hey, we had a clean sweep for both series. Everyone in the top 20 will get points for their respective series. So we had 10 East and 10 West in the top 20. Of course, Caleb Rose gets 12 points towards the championship for winning the race in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. And then you got Trey Wright finishing second in West, Keegan Thompson finishing third, Owen Miles finishing fourth, Max Davis finishing fifth, Johnson Jameson finishing sixth, Marcus Glitch finishing in seventh, Skep Silver finishing in eighth, Ryan Durrani finishing ninth, and Zane Davidson, who was caught up in the first wreck, going to get a point here for the West Series. Durrani only getting 2 points, but Durrani will still be the points leader in the West Series. However, in the East Series, BB Ruiz gets the 10 points, and then it's Aaron Abel's second in the East Series, getting 9 points. Anthony Hernandez will get 8 points. Kyle Craven will finish fourth and get 7 points. Christian Vargas will finish fifth and get 6 points. 88 there of Josh Marzak will finish sixth and get 5 points. Reggie Fogelman will finish seventh and get 4 points. Jared Martin will finish eighth, get 3 points. Joshua Neely will finish ninth and get 2 points, and Corey Case gets the last point in the East Series, which means that Alexander Rose is not going to get anything for the East Series. Going to lose the points lead to Aaron Abel going into the next race at Richmond. So that'll be very interesting over there in the East Series, because they have the Showdown race, and they also got another combination race with the BodyArmor Pro Series at New Hampshire, and that's where Alexander Rose has lost out on a lot of this. Are on these faster racetracks, these smaller short tracks. He's dominating these faster short tracks, and the road course at Watkins Glen have not gone his way, and that has been the disadvantage for that team. Wow, tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun crowning these champions once we get into October for both the East and West Series. It's going to be pretty wild, I think, because Ronnie hasn't clinched it yet, and he lost a lot of ground here today to some drivers over there, including Caleb Rose, who he might have a shot at the title over there in the West Series. We'll see if that ends up being the case, but regardless, hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And we thank you so much for watching here from the Iowa Speedway. Caleb Rose gets it done in the Newton 200. And we'll show you guys the points in the East Series, the West Series, and the Showdown here in just a moment. Our next race for the East Series is going to be at Richmond Raceway a couple weeks from now. That'll be the River City 150 there at the Richmond Raceway. And then the next Showdown race will be also the next race in the West Series will be at Gateway on September 5th right here on AG, the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Caleb Rose on his race victory. And huge thanks to Andrew Miller for calling this one with me here tonight from the Iowa Speedway. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Iowa Corn 350 in the Wall Wall Cup Series. On behalf of Andrew Miller, here are the points for the BodyArmor LYTE Series East and West and Showdown. And I will see you guys later.